Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today we're covering a very timely and important update, the Texas Mini-TCPA law that just came into effect a few days ago. So if you or your clients are sending SMS marketing messages, especially in Texas, you need to understand what this law means for you. And there's been a lot of confusion and some panic, but don't worry, by the end of this video, you're gonna know the big picture, the main requirements, and what you can do right now. And here's some good news. I have a direct line to HighLevel's legal team, and I'm going to share with you an email I received from one of their lawyers that really helps clarify things. So stick with me. So first, some background information from official sources. Until now, Texas telemarketing rules really focused on phone calls. Senate Bill 140 changes that. Starting the 1st of September, marketing text, SMS, and even picture messages are treated the same way as telemarketing calls. So if you're sending promotional text to someone who lives in Texas, or if your business is sending messages from Texas, this law covers you. And it doesn't matter if your business is based elsewhere. If the text involves Texas, you're in scope. And here's the big compliance piece. Businesses considered sellers or telemarketers have to register with the Texas Secretary of State. And that means filling out some paperwork, paying a $200 fee, and even putting up a $10,000 bond. And remember, you're not officially registered until a state issues you a certificate. This law connects to the Texas Deceptive Trade Practices Act. And that means if you break the rules, you could face lawsuits, fines, or even enforcement from the Attorney General. And those penalties aren't small. They can be hundreds or even thousands of dollars for every single text message. Now, that all sounds really heavy, but there are exemptions and practical ways to handle this. And that's where the email from HighLevel's legal team comes in. All right, so before I get into the juicy part and the legal stuff and all of the jargon, which sometimes goes way over everyone's head. In fact, it goes over my head sometimes, I'm not gonna lie to you. The real big bonus from what I'm seeing from these rules and the laws that are coming in is that we can still go after clients' old leads, right? You've got to not think of this as a negative, right? The thing that I teach in my book, The Instant AI Agency, is all about going after clients' old leads and sending SMSs to old leads and using AI to turn them into appointments and sales. So if you're approaching someone in Texas and they're struggling and really worried about sending messages to their new market, we can go in and say, well, actually, that doesn't matter. We can pull sales and appointments from your old leads, which turns an objection into a hell yeah. Okay, this is pretty cool. Okay, so I reached out to HighLevel about this. I'm always trying to get clarity for you guys in my audience, and here's what they came back with. Here's the big picture, and note this isn't legal advice. We always recommend your students and their clients consult their own attorney about their specific circumstances. Who the law applies to. The amendments made apply to businesses sending promotional texts either to Texas residents or from a Texas location. If the law applies, it's typically the business actually sending the messages, not the platform provider, i.e. HighLevel. That would be treated as the seller or telemarketer responsible for compliance, including registration and bonding. Exemptions most likely to be relevant, current or former customers. As you correctly noted, Dan, that's me, businesses can likely continue sending SMS to their current or former customers in Texas without registering, provided they have operated under the same business name for at least 2 years. B2B sales for resale or reuse. The law also exempts sales where the purchaser is a business that intends to resell the item or uses it in recycling, remanufacturing, or manufacturing. This exemption may apply in some agency client contexts, but because this is a new law and not yet interpreted, businesses should review it with counsel. And these two carve-outs are narrow, but they may provide a path forward. Again, this is just for Texas, for many of your students if their clients fall into one of these categories. And that said, each business should confirm with their own legal counsel whether they qualify. So what they can do right now, if your students, i.e. my students, and that's you, or their clients prefer to avoid Texas SMS altogether until I've spoken with a lawyer and or registered, they can already do that with HighLevel today. Use workflows or bulk actions to filter out contacts where state equals Texas. To make that easier, we've recorded a LOOM video walking through these steps. So in order to get hold of that, please comment LOOM below and we'll get in touch with you and get it over to you, all right? They can also use existing tools like consent tracking, opt-out management, and DNC scrubbing to support compliance. And for many of your students, this may be the simplest way to avoid needing to register, especially for agencies not physically located in Texas. Looking ahead, we're also building additional compliance features to help agencies comply with this and similar laws. For example, we're working on rolling out quiet hour enforcement, pacing and scheduling improvements, and built-in exclude location option. If you or your clients so determine the registration is required, the process is handled through the Texas Secretary of State and involves submitting information about your business, paying the $200 filing fee, $200 filing fee, and posting a $10,000 bond. Note that registration is only valid when Texas's Secretary of State issues the registration certificate, not when the application is submitted. And here are some other helpful resources. I'll put those in the description. We're also finalizing customer-facing resources that will explain the law in plain language and outline best practices for agencies. Those should be published soon. I know this is a lot of information, so please let me know if you have any follow-up questions or if you'd like to schedule a call to discuss. I'd be happy to do so. Thanks again for raising this and for everything you do helping agencies succeed in HighLevel. Okay, so what does all this mean for you? I mean, I'm not going to lie, my eyes were glazing over a bit as I was reading through that. It's not what I'd love. It's not what I love doing, right? So I'm trying to kind of break this down into practical giveaways. So if you're sending texts in Texas and you don't qualify for an exemption, you should either get registered or temporarily exclude Texas contacts until you've spoken with your lawyer. If you qualify for the current or former customer's carve-out, you're going to be okay, but only if your clients have been in business under the same name for at least 2 years. And that's, if you're working with clients with old leads and their old database, right? It's likely they've been in business for more than 2 years, so you're going to be fine. HighLevel already gives you tools to filter out by state, track consent, and scrub for opt-outs. Use them. And keep in mind, even with registration, you'll still need to honor quiet hours and respect the Texas no-call rules. Okay, so that's the Texas Mini-TCPA in a nutshell. I hope I've explained it to you well. As I said before, comment LOOM and we'll get you over that LOOM video. But the real place where you can get help with this, we're talking about it inside my private group, the AI Automation Ninjas. It's on School, and we've got a ton of really good stuff in there that you're going to love. Not only about this Texas stuff, but about how you can actually sell what we teach in my book, The Instant AI Agency. We're also sharing resources, strategies, and the fastest way that I've found to have AI solve huge problems for clients and for you to get paid on a performance basis. So the link to my group's in the description of this video, but comment LOOM now and we'll get that video over to you. Thanks for watching.